Here we are with a new episode of Pints and Pages. We skipped last week. We had some Rick and Morty D&D. We finished it up today. But we carved out a little bit of time to be able to do this podcast today. So we'll get right into it because we got into a discussion. At least these two did.
It's worth it too.
Yeah, and we want to get it on camera. So I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
And we'll go ahead and get started. But the big main topic is the first two episodes of The Acolyte.
I really don't think we're going to talk about much else.
So first off, I want you to answer this question. It's the thing I had the same thought process when I watched when I was watching it that New Rockstars had when I watched their video. The Sith that May goes to, do you think it's Plagueis?
No, I do not. But it's kind of.
I'm going with it is.
They're definitely trying to push that vibe because of the respirator, and I noticed that. But what I also noticed too is like. Having an Inquisitor is not a new thing. I think there were, before the events of what happens in this, there were obviously some kind of fight between the Jedi and Sith. They're in a middle period, where it's calm, relaxed. They don't have the Sith threat, right? So I think he is one of the last remaining, old Jedi hunters because... back then they knew how to hunt Jedi better. They knew what was effective, and his respirator setup reminds me of some Cad Bane shit. So, he can't be force choked. So not only is he trying to avoid being killed by Jedi, he's trying to avoid being killed by other Sith. So I think he's
you're going almost like just a rogue bounty hunting.
Rogue, a former Dark Lord who probably answered to Plagueis. Which is why they have that type of respirator system. Cad Bane, Plagueis, all of them. They have that. Of course, they're a little war mangled. They've been beat up and shot and shit. But that is you can't force choke somebody who's using that type of equipment.
Yeah.
So I think it is definitely somebody who has worked for him. Maybe a former apprentice. But I think this is insight panic in the Jedi. He's getting a new apprentice, maybe to begin something bigger. Maybe he is still working for Plagueis. I don't know. We're going to see.
Maybe he just wants to.
Yeah,
because
this is 100 years before Phantom Menace, so that would have to say that Plagueis is well over 100 years old too.
But also, if you remember Palpatine's whole speech that he gives to Anakin. Plagueis mastered how to extend his lifetime.
Yes.
Not ever become immortal, but extend his life.
So what if this is, I think he's functioning and a fully Force user. Maybe Master recently deceased. He's reaching out, finding people, and then realizes through this is where he starts to develop that whole Rule of Two idea, because we were kind of talking about that. The Rule of Two is not in effect until sometime probably through this fucking series. Well, if at all. We might not see
I think it's confirmed in canon books or comic books that Plagueis instilled it when he got Palpatine. So it'd be probably not in this series.
So what if we're staring at Palpatine?
This early? 100 years beforehand?
If he...
I guess...
If Plagueis knows how to extend his life... Who's to say he doesn't teach Palpatine how to this early, so that they're
you got a point.
They've got their two. They're trying to seek out other allies.
Palpatine wouldn't have the respirator though.
No, you don't see. That's the thing. Is it's still technically a helmet. It's not a full-on respirator, so it might only be a helmet inspired.
I was going to say, what I thought it was just an attachment onto the helmet.
But because pilots have that too.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of wishful dreaming that it's,
the only thing that
I seeing throwbacks to technology and when they reuse shit.
The only thing that makes me kind of curious of you brought up Palpatine would be that because he was such.
Because he looks like an old ass fucking man, but that would be to say he could be a teenage boy under that mask.
I guess you got a point there.
Before fucking he tells him how to extend his life. Maybe makes him become an old fucking man, training him for a long ass time. And then they're like, okay, well now that you're 80, I'll show you how to do it. And he's like, this will get you 20 more fucking years. And then he's 130 or 180 or some shit.
Well, I mean, in the like, I would say mid 50s, maybe 60s in Phantom Menace.
Well, yeah,
I would say that's.
I know
he was horribly disfigured by the Jedi.
Yeah,
you know.
So.
Yeah. I was gonna say my whole point was everyone like he was known in the like the government of Naboo, and then also the higher government, and people could track his lifetime.
You're not gonna trust a young guy either, so you got to appear to be a little.
Well, my thing was I feel like for Palpatine to be like what we were going back to earlier with you saying this could be Palpatine. Yeah. He's already taught him how to extend his life. I feel like that throws things out if. Because everyone knew Palpatine was born from Naboo, lived on Naboo, like all of that stuff, kind of throws it off. And for 80, 100 years, he was just living out fucking off.
Well,
and then came back to Naboo.
This was too good of a plan to not work. They planned it.
I mean, you do have
so everything you gotta take in consideration that even though none of it's happened yet, the events of everything in Star Wars Ever After will happen, and it is happened. And it's like, we may not like the fucking last new movie they put out, but that was what happened, and that was over the course of fucking a long time.
And
that plan went perfectly smooth
Rise
until
of Skywalker.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Rise of Skywalker.
That plan, his plan went exactly how it was supposed to.
Yeah.
All the way up until the very, very fucking end when she was there. And it was that moment after that it went out of his.
And if 8 wouldn't have been written so shitty, then I think that her being a Palpatine would have made more sense. But
I just think if we would have gotten my only complaint with 9,
she's a Palpatine versus being related to a hero, though.
I'm glad.
Yeah, me too. But I think that 8 made it the way that 8 was presented and written to where anybody could have it.
Well, they flat out say, "Hey, your parents are nobodies."
Yeah,
you know that was an easy thing that they.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, man, if that wouldn't have been if they would have written 8 better and more Palpatine centric than 9, I think would have been better accepted.
I
think the problem was
Palpatine should have been brought back, but boy, howdy, did Ian McDiarmid nail it.
Oh, yeah.
He fucking nailed the creepiest fucking shit I've ever seen in Star Wars.
My only complaint was that they brought him back through the opening scroll. If you would have just given me one, because this goes back to 8 being written better, if you would have given me one after credit scene of just a cackle, not even show his face, just give me a red lightsaber and a cackle, or give me the outside shot of Exegol and a cackle.
You can cut an hour and a half out of that fucking movie if they don't go to the casino and give me some sort of Palpatine thing.
Fucking loved it. And I'm like the only guy.
But you have to
fucking love
I
love world building though.
Here's my thing. I think the scene itself, if you take it out of the movie, take all the context with it, the scene itself or that whole planet itself, really cool. The shots and everything like that, great work, great cinematography. Yeah. But you can do exactly as I said. You can take it all right out of the movie, and it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, but where the fuck are you ever going to get to see that? There's almost nowhere to put it,
right?
And it's hard to write in, and I understand that,
right?
But that's where it's like there's certain parts of the fan base that are just like, I want to know what they do in their fun. Here you go. We get to see a whole new planet. A different type of lifestyle.
I can tell you, I know what some of them do, and they're fun.
Well, I've played some of the other games too. You ever throw down on Star Wars: The Old Republic, the online one, the MMO?
Yeah.
That was some of the best shit ever because I got to go visit Nar Shaddaa. You only hear of it mentioned, you don't know what the fuck it is, but it's basically Space Vegas.
Yeah.
No. And it's like, I want to see some Space Vegas shit.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, there's the horse track. There's here's Pennsylvania. That's basically what that place is, man. It's Pennsylvania with a casino.
And I know we're sidetracking hard off Acolyte, but this is why I've been bitching about everything being a 6-episode limited series.
Well,
like Mando, give me like how TV shows used to be. Give me 24 fucking episodes.
Well,
half of them are filler that you could technically skip out on, but they give you world building that I'm like, all right, I can enjoy.
Can I get back on a little bit, real quick, back to what I was going to go with on the world building thing? They spent enough time there to interact with everything that planet had to offer. What we got in Acolyte is everything's rushed and you don't really know what the fuck goes on the planet you're on. They're on a snow planet for like 5 minutes, and it's like, okay, is that Hoth? Did they? I don't even remember if they labeled it. I might have missed it in the scene where they
labeled every planet they went.
Well,
to.
I can't remember, but it was a new snow planet?
It was not Hoth.
Is this a third snow planet?
Yeah, I don't
remember.
the
Tell
name.
us anything? Like
Right.
this ain't the same planet.
Right. That's exactly what it was. It was a new. It was an all new planet that they didn't tell us.
This
At least with Mando's,
this will all be all new planets. Not for the most part.
Well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Mando's snow planet.
That's how it's going to be.
I mean, the Wookiee's going to be at Kashyyyk,
well,
right?
Hold on. They already showed what planet he was at in the series. He's in a whole nother forested planet that's different from any other forested
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is they're going to the same biomes of planets without giving us anything in Acolyte. In fucking Mando, the snow planet, there's fucking snow spiders. Like, we get Ralph McQuarrie fucking concept art creatures into fucking a big threat, and there's a reason why this planet is uninhabited and shit. We go to the one on there, she just crashes and runs through it until she's found and they leave. Like, they're running through some crazy ass snow and shit, and you're not gonna give me the fucking the underground fucking worms from Bad Batch. You're not gonna give me the fucking spiders from Mando. You're not gonna give me a goddamn Wampa from fucking Hoth.
Right.
Like, you're not gonna wild tauntauns. Like, nothing.
Right.
Like, give me, if you're going to create a reference, at least keep me in the planet or give me a reason why this one's different, if it's going to look the same.
Yeah.
So the crashed planet with the Wookiee looks like Endor, looks like any fucking forested moon of some generic place. It looks like places we've been, but there's no context as to what sets this forested area aside. You know, like, there's a forested area in Mando. It's a prison base, and that's where they got to go break shit out.
Right.
Or that weird decommissioned base. I mean, with fucking Miggs Mayfield.
Right.
Or like, Kashyyyk. It's Kashyyyk because you might run into a giant fucking Wyshok spider or a Wookiee.
Or
a fucking Wookiee. You got one crash landed, so he's obviously not on Kashyyyk because he crash landed. Could be on Alderaan, but wouldn't them motherfuckers know? They're very politically oriented. They know what comes to their planet.
What about Endor?
Endor, Force Moon, but you would, the fucking Ewoks would come up. They'd be chilling with that motherfucker. He would not turn them away. He's a Jedi monk crash landed on there as a Wookiee. Right. He's going to be like kicking with them,
Right.
And why is he living in a spaceship versus a fucking tree? He's a goddamn Wookiee. Like, crashed a spaceship in a tree. Tarzan, like little touches like that. Like, give us a reason to distinct the planets. But right now, we got the one they fight on the most.
Yeah,
good.
My assumption was wrong. I had originally, I thought for some reason that this was because there's been on and off talk again that Taika Waititi's supposed to do a Star Wars film or TV show or film.
Yeah.
I thought this is what was originally his, and then he lost it. Well, I don't remember where I heard that, or where I assumed that or heard that. But that's why, because he said when he does one, it'll be all new worlds, all new people we've never heard of before.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I assumed, or thought that. But I talked about it earlier, sorry, mine will be quick, because I already said it earlier. But I kind of wish it would have just followed May as our main character. I want to see behind the eyes of a Sith through a whole TV show. Not jump back and forth between light and dark. Now, I do enjoy this. Don't get me wrong. I feel like I'm going to enjoy this. I've enjoyed the first 2 episodes. but I wanted full Sith.
Technically, she's not a Sith.
So, I know she's not. She's an acolyte.
So the planet she does crash on is called Karlak, and it has been in the Star Wars before.
Oh, has it?
But they don't really do anything that says it. It was in an episode of the Clone Wars where Ahsoka Tano helps save the new Clone Tribe from total destruction at the hands of the Death Watch. It was one of the Mandalorian fights take place there.
Which would be after it, like hundreds of years.
Yeah, so that would imply that there's probably some snow mandos hanging out on this planet.
Right.
Which is still not the planet that Mando crashed on, but like there was nothing defining to say that that's where they were at.
Right.
So that's what I was trying to look through and see.
Does it say what planet he lands on? The
mystery. I think Brendok is their home.
Yeah.
Let's see. Of course, Coruscant. We know all about fucking Coruscant. Ueda is where the first scene takes place, where they kill the one. It doesn't tell me which planet the Wookiee's on, so I think it's unnamed.
Okay.
One would assume it's either Brendok or Ueda.
I'm really curious.
Those are the forested planets. Oh, wait. Never mind. Hold on. There's more. Wait, there's more. I didn't scroll.
I'm really curious to figure out what those Jedi did on Brendok.
Kofar is where the Wookiee is. Entirely new world in Star Wars. Ueda is a new place. Alega is a new place. That is another one.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I wonder what they did.
The temple is they go to.
And then it's weird because, and I don't remember their names except for May and Osha. So
and Sol
is the Asian guy, right?
Yeah, Master Torvin was the one that was meditating.
Torvin was So Sol like says in his dialogue, I saw her die. So I'm curious how he saw May die.
I think
but she's still alive, unless she died. And
nobody.
That
you know how many
that Jedi shows up and revives her.
He was probably like, I saw her die, and probably threw her off a cliff because he probably knew something. Like those Jedi, Torvin and him and the other one probably all knew something dark and scary. Like it was probably a prophetic fucking thing. They were there to go get May.
What?
I bet they're a dyad in the Force.
Whatever. I think whatever was happening, I
killed her whole family, but I think she killed Jedi too.
You think Sol is like you think Sol did whatever was bad too?
I don't think.
Or do you think that he's oblivious to what the other Jedi did?
No, I think he knew what happened. That's why he was training Osha. But I think it was it was the chick that is the one that actually killed May. And my guess is going to be whoever this Sith is brought her back to life. That's just my guess.
I think Torvin indirectly killed her family. That's why he willingly committed suicide. I think the other bitch, the reason why she died so quick, I think she was just there. She was allied help. They were fighting her sister. And I think Sol was the one who thought he killed her personally. I think he believed he killed her. And then that's why the whole emotional thing owing it to Osha.
That can make sense.
Yeah.
So do you think
Osha
and here's do you think
violation?
Yeah. Do you think that they were born
like he was saying,
dyad in the Force?
Their birth shook something in the Force.
Yeah.
And the twin girls, there was a light and a dark.
Yes.
And they showed up to kill the dark.
Probably.
I believe so.
Because
contain it, but in trying to contain her, it
killed the
broke
parents.
free. No, yeah, I think a lot of things
Torben
happened.
probably accidentally killed the parents. Sol probably had to fucking try to kill May. Because we're at a time right now.
I'm assuming the female is the one who probably took May away and got her to safety while everybody else struggled in the fucking cave.
Well, the female that died at the beginning says it's impossible that it's you, right? I mean, she said that in her dialogue, right?
Well, there's
been multiple people that...
But she has like a Harry Potter scar.
Yeah,
well, it could be a tattoo, because tattoos are often white in appearance, and markings are white a lot of times for those, like, different alien tattoo thingies.
But what I was saying is we're also in a time where the Jedi are acting they are a lot more arrogant about how they
politically stringent too.
Yeah, and they're politically stringent,
very
and
controlling.
They also are very much more so than they were in the Clone Wars. They are a police force right now.
Yeah,
and you see that with the dude that was in training with OSHA before she left.
Yes, he does not like that Saul is, like, taking liberties with what he's doing.
Yeah.
He does not like that at all.
Yes.
And it'll be interesting to see if at some point he turns on Saul.
Well,
I don't think he'll turn on... Well, I guess he could turn on Saul. My curiosity is to see if he ends up getting too aggressive and just ends up dying to the hand of May.
That could
I bet she does something fucked up and then redeems it. Sacrificial redemption.
That could be too.
Yeah, that makes probably the most sense. Here's a question, because you guys do internet diving deeper than I do usually, and you both watch podcasts about it. I don't know if you do.
Yeah, I get in the comments and get trolled and try to give my opinion sometimes, which is stupid.
So, is this going to be more than one season?
I think they want it to be, but...
I don't think it will be because the review bombing.
Dude, yeah, so there's review bombing. There's a lot of people that are just calling it fucking gay because they haven't watched it or watched all of it. And it kind of devolves from them, they're spouting off about their wokeness and all that. And then Kathleen Kennedy and the director are not helping matters by intentionally trolling back and making comments against the fan base that are a little blanketed and fucking stupid too. They're saying, you're not real fans. And I'm like, yeah, people are going to get emotional because you're doing something. But you're toting it in a manner. But so far, nothing has there is no agenda that has been pushed on me through those 2 episodes. And that is what a lot of the internet is fucking bitching about. And they're intentionally making bad reviews without ever even watching, refusing to watch it, and then making bad reviews, and then all the while still subscribing to the service, which pays for the fucking, pays for the movie anyway. Yeah, and then they'll fucking get on it and watch it or start it or something.
A lot of it is the same thing.
I love reminding people. Sorry,
all the way through. I mean, it's what our country is now. You don't even watch something, you don't know anything about it, but you just immediately start bitching. Yeah. And the go-to right now is that it's too woke. It's oh my God, there's women in it. Oh my God, there's foreigners in it, and it's just like they don't watch it. They don't like you said. I in no way, shape, or form watched that and thought, I don't want to see a bunch of women being Jedis. Like, that was... I never even... Women being Jedis never even crossed my mind while I was watching it.
I will admit, it is heavily fucking weighted that way. Like, don't get me wrong.
It is. Now that we're talking about it...
There's only 2 men, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and an ex-female Jedi, and then the Sith female and 1 other male Sith. Well, that's assumed. We haven't seen gender. It's genderless. You don't know because you don't know what's under a fucking helmet. So you've got 1 other female, and it's like it is very heavily weighted.
But it
still didn't bother me
until it got brought up. I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice.
Well, that's what I mean. It's got to be brought up for you to pay much attention.
So,
like that's my not biggest complaint, but it's like, why can't we watch things and just have entertainment? What happened to just getting entertained by shit? Like, and I get...
We're hating it because, dude, I'll admit it, the fucking first episode was a little boring and dry. But it wasn't like bad Star Wars.
No.
I've watched more boring episodes of fucking, I don't know how many animated fucking shows.
I thought the first episode was what it should have been, which was character building.
Yeah.
Which can be boring. I'll tell you what, you watch anything.
It was a little rushed, though.
It was rushed.
Nothing can sink in with this.
It was a little rushed. But you watch anything... like any of the great dramas of the 2000s.
Watch The Sopranos. You know how long that shit takes?
Not just Breaking Bad, Dexter.
Yeah.
There's...
Dude, Breaking Bad has some episodes you just want to beat your head against the
wall.
Right. You're like, what the fuck is this one?
Right. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how many episodes... I don't know how many shows.
Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I don't know how many
episodes that just...
Like, so I get it, but the problem is that when you do a character building episode, that's what its main purpose is. You rush through it because you are limited to, what is it? Is it 6 episodes or 8?
It's either 6 or 8. Let me look.
But you're limited. So, like, you're trying to build character, but you're also rushing through a storyline.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. Not that the show does.
And that's what's weird.
I thoroughly enjoyed
You can get more done in a 2-hour movie than you can in 2 45-minute episodes.
Correct.
And I mean, yeah, that's a time difference, but, like... Okay, so an 1.5-hour movie is still getting more done than a fucking 2 45-minute.
Yeah,
8 episodes.
It's 8. I would like to see, and it's a shame that it's getting murdered on the internet, and hopefully that doesn't.
IMDb has it as a 6.1.
Hopefully that it doesn't ruin their plans. But I would have liked to have seen seasons of the Acolyte that take us through like this isn't Dark Plagueis. This is maybe,
how do you say his name again?
Thaven?
Yeah, Thaven.
Maybe it's Thaven. Thaven. It's Thaven, and then maybe at the end of this season we do see Plagueis. And then Plagueis is like maybe
then we see the assassination of Thaven.
Yeah, and we see Plagueis, but then you get into episodes 3 and 4, and this is what I would like them to do, and I'm sure it's not going to be anything, but if you can sustain it for that long and go into seasons 3 and 4, and you get where Plagueis is corrupting Palpatine, then you get into play a young Mace Windu, you get Yoda. If you get that if you can get that
Yoda's
far.
alive right now.
Right.
Yoda's gonna
I think it's been confirmed they won't show him they're not going to show him an Acolyte at all.
He's alive.
But he'd be alive. He'd be a Jedi Master too.
Yeah, I don't know what age does he become Jedi Master because Baby Yoda's 50. And he would be like 100 and something.
Yeah, but he was
900 in episode 6.
He was 900. Okay,
yeah, which was only... So he'd be 800 years old right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd still be...
I mean, he'd be a Jedi Master.
He's a Grand Master,
but
he's a Master.
There. Well, that's the thing.
But you got the Jedi Council that has all those guys in it, and they're obviously... Like a young Qui-Gon Jinn.
Dude, I would love Qui-Gon.
Like, once you get towards the end of that 100 years, like, we're 10
I'd like to
down,
I'd like to see it get to that point to where it directly ties into...
and you can give different directors each season.
Right.
If somebody stinks up the first season, switch it up.
I was going to say, also, look at how, Mando does it. Look at how Ahsoka was. It's different directors every single episode.
It's every episode. I don't know the Acolyte is like that.
I don't think so.
But it's every episode with the other ones.
But I would love to see, because I mean, we've got it in canon.
Well, people are worried because this bitch, she's the former assistant of fucking Weinstein.
Oh, yay.
Who?
The director of this series is the former assistant of Harvey Weinstein.
Jesus.
See, I didn't know that. My only
How is she
irritation
even employed still?
That's what
Disney.
nobody gets.
Disney
Nobody
loves
understands
pedophiles and
why.
racists.
And it's like she's the former assistant. She's pictured with him, like she worked for him, and it's like she refused to speak on any of the court cases for him, and now she's got a job at fucking Disney, and it's like, okay, she's trolling fans. She's that kind of person. And that's why people are worried and they're review bombing it. So it's like you have to the world's trying to cancel her from being able to direct it without watching her shit. But I'm like, it's already fucking made, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know anything about the Weinstein. This is just something
Well,
stupid.
and I don't even know if that's true or like how long, or I don't know anything about the fucking shit. It's just I got some new Star Wars and I'm gonna watch it.
Right.
My only thing, because watching the
suckle the teat until I die.
Shit. me too. Me too, buddy. Shout out, because I'm gonna bring him up probably every fucking week because I watch them all the time. New rock stars.
Yeah.
Eric talked about it in his video. He got to talk to the director and stuff and be at a special premiere. It was just something stupid that I was like, really? This is how this all got based off of? She kept hammering down about horoscopes, apparently.
Yeah.
And astrology and shit like that. And she's like, well, we just have a fascination with Gemini. And me and Kathleen are both Geminis, and it just so happens that we also wanted to make twins in our TV show, so Geminis, and it comes out in June, so Geminis. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about what you believe in, but why did it all have to be based off of dumb astrology?
Well, I think...
not even the cool, constellations and shit. Just dumb fucking astrology that dumb people believe in.
So, spoilers, right? You talk about the whole, dyads of the Force?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Which would be
They're both gonna die.
Yeah.
They're both gonna die in this series.
Oh, yeah. If it doesn't go on to multiple seasons.
Because why else would Luke and Leia be born? They were the replacements because these two fucked it all to hell.
Yeah. They're probably the original dyad.
Luke and Leia are the balance.
Wait, but does that mean that...
Leia gives birth to the fucking dark side, essentially. Yeah. Further on that. Whereas Luke
gave birth to the light side.
Well, he trained and nurtured it and got it to strength again and kind of shit. So, but he also tapped into it. They were both balances. There was good in Kylo Ren's actions. So I think, and then Luke and Leia both died. So Rey is going to encounter new twins at some point in her arc when they make movies about her from the other end of the fucking... we're working at other ends. They're coming into the beginning to give us some shit, and then they're like, all right, here's what the fuck's Rey's gonna do, because we gave her this cool-ass lightsaber, and we want her to use it.
I love that we're seeing more yellow lightsabers.
I am looking forward to seeing what happens after Rise of Skywalker, even though people will hate it and not look forward to it.
I love Daisy Ridley.
Thank God they announced they were going to fucking carry on the story, but they're specifically the Skywalker story.
Now wait a minute, hold on.
What?
So I went to Force Dyad, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything about twins.
No, they don't have to be literal twins, but
because Kylo Ren and Rey are a dyad.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, but see, the imbalance happens because Kylo dies, right?
Kylo dies.
So there's an imbalance in the Force.
Right.
It always has... Yeah.
Okay.
That's why Palpatine never tried to kill Yoda, is because it unbalanced the Force and take him out in response.
So, here's my question.
She will either birth another dyad herself.
Well, and they don't have to come from the same thing.
No.
Who is...
Because it was Obi-Wan and Vader were the dyads before Luke and Leia kind of were born.
Is that who Vader's dyad is? Because they were, right? But they're not of the same age.
Here's also the
balancing in the Force.
I was going to say it's kind of right now up for interpretation because we got the first time dyad ever got brought up was Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. Right.
So that's when, right then and there, whatever Palpatine explains it as, that's the explanation we get. And if it's not very descriptive, we can call Vader and Obi-Wan a dyad. We can call these twins a dyad. Or
it's
it might...
not the script, but you know for a fact that...
I know what you're... I agree with what you're saying, because that's exactly... If you understand how the Force works...
Because if it works non-biologically, then it would have been Vader and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And then one struck one down, and the other one sacrificed himself and turned to the light side, which opened up for an imbalance in the Force again, an imbalance in the light side.
Which then brings Luke up.
During the Republic era, and this is all on Wikipedia.
Which is run by Eric Voss.
So maybe
the New Republic era...
They were just a fix in the balance.
During the Republic era, Darth Plagueis sought to create a dyad with Sidious.
See, I always
Eons before the time of Darth Sidious, the doctrine of the dyad was etched into the walls of the Sith Cathedral, serving as a reminder of the dyad's significance to the Sith Order. So the dyad is all about the Sith Order. It's
specifically for the Sith. So they were only a dyad, but in the fact that Palpatine was trying to pull Rey into the dark side.
Okay. So Sidious tried and failed to create a dyad with his own apprentice, Darth Vader. It would be decades before he discovered that a dyad had formed naturally between his granddaughter and Vader's grandson, Rey and Kylo Ren. So it's when they
formed their own without trying.
Yes.
Yeah. But normally you have to create it.
So May has created one with Osha.
Yeah. Yes.
May and Osha have created one between
that's
them.
why it's the dyad.
That's the dyad.
That's the dyad.
They created
it. Luke and Leia kind of had one.
Yes.
But it really didn't manifest.
Yeah.
So Obi-Wan and Vader are not a dyad.
They were not a dyad.
They were not a dyad.
Based on what that said...
They lost complete connection from everything.
Yeah.
They lost connection to each other when he turned into Vader.
Yeah.
Yes.
But from the way that read, Rey and Ben naturally accidentally created one. But otherwise, before that, it was inscribed in the Sith cathedral walls, which meant it was only a Sith power. Or not only a Sith power, but it seemed to be Sith practice.
It was something that utilizes the dark side of the Force, much like
and that's why May is trying to get Osha to connect with her because it's a Sith power. So she's trying to turn her to the dark side, much like Kylo Ren was doing with Rey.
Even though if they all just knew better that one bad one and one good one rules the galaxy in perfect balance.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all they'd have to ever do. The rule of two was actually just a great concept, but they didn't do it with the right things. They picked two Sith instead of a Sith and a Jedi.
Right.
And if they would have always done that and then helped limit each other, that would have been fucking brutal.
Technically in Episode 9, if Rey would have just accepted Ben's offer, that would have been world peace right there. Galaxy peace. Mm-hmm. Universe peace.
Yeah.
Because... they would have brought balance to the Force, and they would have been the equal in opposition to each other, both politically and emotionally.
Right.
He would have been the intimidation to control
and she would have been the nurturing to
the weapon, the fucking
yeah.
Dude, that's great.
I'm curious to see if we'll
roll credits like it's the okay, and then in credits.
I'm curious though to see. Especially since we're back in the High Republic era. Towards the end of it, but we're in the High Republic era. And there's more freedom of information between the Jedis. If once they figure out that they're possibly a dyad, if we'll get more of an explanation on the dyads.
I think that they don't bring it in so early if we're not going to get something. This is going to be very May and OSHA connection.
Well, and they also, I think,
and dyad explanation.
And I really, real quickly, I just want to see another thing like what Rey and Ben did, where they were through the Force. They transferred lightsabers to each other.
Oh.
She stuck it behind her back, and he reached back and grabbed it.
Right.
Yeah. And they were completely away from each other.
Yeah. Could you imagine, like, I ain't got nothing in my hands. Like, you steal something from somebody, and then you're just like, you pass it through the Force, and like, I ain't get shit.
Yeah.
I ain't got your plans for your Death Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's for sure. But that means that whoever that Sith Lord is has already started that dyad teaching with May.
Or is he...
No. I don't think he taught it. They were born with it because they both were Force
sensitive. I think I think he's at least taught,
they sing songs together through it. They did that shit when they were little.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, and she started the fire.
Yeah, but he's definitely had to have taken her to that Sith temple.
She didn't start the fire.
And so what I think, if you want my personal opinion, whether May was killed and revived by him or May got away somehow, whatever happened, I think he found May, saw that she was Force sensitive and mourning, just like Osha was, and probably from May speaking to him, he figured out that she had a twin. He probably did some spying, found a twin, and I think he created the dyad while just feeding her the fucking Force potential.
What if he was just always hiding on that planet,
what if,
to her?
Maybe. What if he's not? What if he is not?
Like he coaxed her to start the fires.
That could be true too.
Yeah, or what if he was not a Sith until he saw? What if he was a Jedi and saw what they did and fucking turned bad at that point? And it's not any of them. It's not Plagueis or...
What if there was 5 of them there and basically he helped May escape? They thought May died.
What if it's their father? Daddy issues are a fucking Star Wars.
That's a Star Wars.
Dad is a Star Wars thing.
It's their dad was trying to sway them both to the dark side through just grooming and growing up, and one took to it, and the other one was not of. I don't know. Maybe it was a pairing of Jedi and Sith in the long con.
Or
parents, and then
I'm gonna make this just out of thin air because I thought about it. Plagueis and Sidious are the ones that it's just Sidious is the one that artificially basically inseminated Anakin, created Anakin out of the Force. Right. What if Plagueis taught him how to do this, and Plagueis did that with Osha and May, and that's what this is. This is an experiment to see if he could actually create something.
Create life.
And they showed up to fucking collect the 2 of them.
That could have been.
Or my thought is he thought he was creating one life, it split in 2, and he's like, oh shit, I created a light and a dark instead of just a dark like he wanted. He didn't understand the balance of the Force yet, maybe.
I don't know.
I'm just spitballing ideas.
It's cool to think like that because you never know what the fuck we're gonna come across.
Yeah, because you never know what you're gonna get. I mean, it's an all new Star Wars world.
Yeah.
I mean, which is nice because we can actually do this. Well, because and
Palpatine's son was technically just a clone of himself that he raised as a son. It was fucking.
It was basically Boba Fett.
And they had no
satisfaction.
Powers. Your satisfaction. They had no powers.
The other thing I find really cool, besides for the...
He can't get no.
Besides for the green chick that we see at the temple, she's
from Star Wars before.
She's from the High Republic comics. She's the only character so far that we've seen that is not original for this series.
Okay.
So I really hope we get more shit in the High Republic to expand off of this building, ever expanding building lore.
Yeah.
Especially because we're touching 100 years ago. Go 2,000 years ago. I want to go to the Old Republic.
Well, 100 years ago, I'm trying to think of what Mandalorians look like, because you can always...
Yeah, you're way better with the Mandos than I am.
You're looking at...
I love him, but he knows way more of their history.
Shit. I don't even know what their armor would look like. They'd have kind of a whole different vibe to it.
Do you think they're gonna do Mandos?
It's not outlandish because there were so fucking many of them at that time.
I do know that. Back then, they were thriving.
Well, and it was a three-way war constantly over the years. Mandos siding with either the Sith or the Jedi, or on their own side and fighting for hire against all of the above. They were constantly playing on their side.
It does say, Snoke told Rey, I warned my young apprentice that as he grew stronger, his equal in the light would rise.
Yeah, that's the Force keeping...
So as May grows more powerful because she's being trained...
Well, that just shows you that
Osha will gain power whether or not she likes it or not.
Well, right now she has the power. She just doesn't know how to tap into it. It is.
Right.
But she'll be a little more quickly adept to it because the Force is pushing her to be a little more under the pressure. Just like Luke, man. Luke had to really fucking pick his shit together.
Right out the gate in Episode 7. I mean, when she needed it, she immediately mind tricked.
Yeah.
And granted, she was a Palpatine, but also that was pent up Force energy or whatever you want to fucking call it for years on end.
Yeah.
But I thought about this. Do you remember by chance off the top of your head when the Mandalorian Jedi, what year he was around?
Oh, Paz Vizsla? That's probably where the kind of shit we're going to see.
That's what I'm
wondering. He could be someone on the council.
That's what I'm wondering.
He could be someone on the Jedi Council about to renounce his fucking thing. He might be in the middle of building the Darksaber. This is the era. This would be...
I thought he was about 100 years off.
I think so.
Okay.
Pre-Vizsla, sorry.
Oh, it's pre-Vizsla, not Paz Vizsla.
Paz Vizsla is the current one we have, like, in our timeline.
No, pre-Vizsla was... in the Clone Wars.
In the Clone Wars.
Okay.
So we're 100 years ahead of that.
Okay, it's a Vizsla.
Yeah, he is from the house.
I'm going to just search the Darksaber. That'll help us.
That's exactly what I went to do. Tar Vizsla,
yes, sorry.
1050 BBY, so we're 900 years away from that. We're 900 years ahead of that, because we're at...
No,
if we're 100, we're at 134.
Before the Battle of Yavin, that would be...
we're at 134, though, BBY.
134 years?
It was forged 1,000 years ago by Mandalorian Tarkin.
Okay, so...
It's during the Old Republic times.
So it's been around for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now... Yeah, because Phantom Menace roughly takes place, I think it's around 33 years BBY, and we're 100 years before that, so we're roughly 133 years away from...
House Vizsla, one of their location planets is Karlak.
Yeah.
Isn't that one of the planets?
That's where, I'm pretty sure that's where Pre-Vizsla's fighting Ahsoka with the whatchamacallit.
The Darksaber.
Isn't that one of the planets that's in the first episode of the...
That's in the Clone Wars. It's not.
It's
nothing. It's only in Clone Wars. It's not in any other. Star Wars
it's not in Acolyte.
It's in Acolyte. That's the snow planet.
Okay.
But it's in nothing other than that and Clone Wars. So that's what I'm saying. That means the Darksaber is somewhere on that planet that they were at. That snowy planet. The Darksaber's probably there with some Vizsla in between Tar and Pre.
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's most likely Mandalore headquarters. If it's the home of a house and they own the Darksaber, the Darksaber is the ruler of Mandalore.
If they still have control of it, right?
Because no one's. Well, no, they would all be on Mandalore. They wouldn't even be there. The house would have been there after fucking Mandalore was bombed. Yeah, after it was bombed. Which doesn't take place until fucking after the Battle of Yavin.
Yeah.
So no, they're full on Mandalore right now. They don't even fucking really hang out on other planets. Jesus Christ, this is a timeline fucking conundrum. Like we constantly think about where we're at.
All right, when we move I'm going to say studio, but it's podcast setup. When we move into that area, I'm just going to get a giant long whiteboard and just Star Wars timeline
and then on the other wall, I'll get a corkboard and we'll do the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
there we go.
Because we'll need it to look like spaghetti crazy, like the fucking Always Sunny Philadelphia.
You sit there smoking cigarettes, pointing at it.
Yarn stretched everywhere.
Oh, that is something.
This is a time that is so hard to read about.
Yeah.
Which Peter Parker are you? We'll show you which timeline you're on.
That would be fucking nuts.
You're going to go this way, then you're going to hang left here, you're going to take a right up here, and then you're going to make a decision.
And then you're going to loop and wrap around this timeline.
Do you die to Thanos? Do you live? Do you kill Thanos? Are you on a different planet when this happens?
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so well.
Oh, jeez, guys, I think I'm going to fade away.
Yeah. So what is next after Acolyte?
Rogue One.
Andor Season 2.
Andor Season 2.
Oh, not chronologically. Gotcha.
Yeah, Andor
Season 2 is going to be dope. That scene.
And even then you'd be wrong. It'd be Phantom Menace next.
Yeah, probably.
Chronologically, it'd be Phantom Menace next.
Yeah.
Not in. No, I meant Earth chronologically.
Oh.
We didn't even start there. So that's where you gotta start. That's what we gotta do next. Start there and work our way back up.
Yeah. Are there more TV shows? There's Andor.
I know Andor's next because that still hasn't gotten its Season 2 and it's supposed to be here soon.
And then what about the Mando stuff?
I don't even know. I just wait for people to tell me, hey, this comes out this week, and then I'm like, yay, I forgot I was waiting.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it hasn't happened with Deadpool. I've been waiting for like 18 years, I think.
You got what, Ahsoka Season 2, the new Mando stuff.
Ahsoka Season 2 is going to be fucking dope.
Is Obi-Wan getting a Season 2?
God, no.
No.
Oh, okay.
There's no need for it.
It would be cool to see some things that happen afterwards, but you can't call it Obi-Wan. You're going to have to call it like the Darth Vader and Friends. And then just show us.
So
you'd have to call it Tatooine.
This doesn't have anything.
He's just hanging out with fucking.
Yeah.
He's just hanging out with
Star Wars grains of sand.
Some of these have dates. Some of them just say in development or a rough year. But Star Wars Skeleton Crew TV series 2024, Andor Season 2 2025, possibly 2024.
Skeleton Crew's next.
Ahsoka Season 2 in development. Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian and Grogu movie, May 22nd, 2026. That has an exact date. Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie is in development. James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie in development. Dave Filoni's Mandoverse New Republic movie in development. Charmin O'Made... Girls!
So,
Charmin O'Made's new Jedi Order movie in development. Rogue Squadron movie, status unknown. Mando Season 4, Book of Boba Fett Season 2, status unknown. Lando movie unknown. Rangers of the New Republic, presumed canceled. The rest of these are all canceled or presumed canceled.
Rangers of the New Republic was fucking Gina Carano's.
Yeah. And then she had to go say something stupid on Twitter.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard someone say. I've heard a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah, but it's not enough to fucking just fuck everything up.
She fucked her whole career. If she would have just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I hope I don't ever have to get famous because, like, I mean, kind of, you want to, but it's like, holy shit, at some point you gotta be so careful.
Right. I mean, they just...
And it's so easy to let some of the dumbest shit slide. But then again, you gotta, like, see, some people don't bounce back from it either. Like, because, no matter what the fuck Eminem says, like, good. No matter what the fuck Jeff Ross says, good.
Yeah.
Like, all them fucking crazy-ass comedians can say some of the worst fucking shit you've ever heard a human say ever, and it's okay, and they get by with it. And even if people try to cancel them, it's like they're fucking immune, because it's like, yeah, that's what he does. And I'm like, maybe that's what we should do. We should just be the most vulgar Magic and game people ever.
The way you don't get canceled, as long as they don't take your money away, you just say no. You just don't accept it. You just keep...
Yeah, I ain't canceled.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
That's what all of them do. Anybody who gets canceled that isn't a fucking pussy or didn't do something actually awful just says, no, I'm not doing this. I won't apologize. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
A lot of the fucking people I watch...
I mean, look, they tried to cancel Kevin Hart, and all he did was not get to host the Oscars, but other than that, he just kept going.
Yeah.
And he issued an apology, but he was like, but you guys do realize that what I said was like 16 years ago, and it didn't. Actually, did he even apologize for it?
It's probably one of those roundabout ways of acknowledging it, and it sounded like an apology.
I don't remember if he apologized or not. But those things are just... That's the other thing that irritates the fuck out of me, is them digging up old shit from like 16 years ago.
Right.
Like dumb tweets and shit, I should say.
Yeah.
To be specific.
I don't know. I'm still excited to see where the fuck his damn
Yeah, to get back on. I'm more than excited.
There's some dry moments. There's some weird moments, but visually, looks like Star Wars.
Visually, it looked really good to me.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good show.
You gotta watch the story develop. You can't fucking come in first couple episodes.
I enjoyed the first 2 episodes for sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad they dropped them 2 at a time. I'm glad they've been getting into dropping 2 or 3 episodes and then doing weekly.
Right.
Because especially if you get a slow burn episode 1 like that, I'm gonna watch episode 2, but I may not. I may not watch it as soon as it comes out, like I will now with episode 3.
Right.
Yeah, if you give me a slow burn episode 1 and I can't watch the next episode right away, I'm gonna lose a little bit of interest and not worry.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, this book is boring. I can wait.
Right.
But I don't know. Any other points we got?
I don't think so.
Anything you missed?
What are we at?
Other than the fan base screaming on the internet, a bunch of turds.
Yeah, I still don't.
It's not my favorite Star Wars. It's not the worst moments of Star Wars. I don't know if I'll say it's the worst Star Wars yet, because it could be like.
I was just saying it
could be.
We're only 2 episodes in, but
so far it seems like
it's not that bad.
Up. If it does things right from here on out, it's not going to be as bad as some storylines. And I'm a little unbiased. I actually like things a lot of people don't fucking like.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Mr. Casino Lover of episode 8.
I don't know. It's one of the best fucking cameos in Star Wars we've gotten from Mark Hamill. He's a fucking short, drunk fucking alien
that's
trying to cram fucking coins in BB-8's asshole.
It was hilarious.
Could be better. Yeah.
Where are we at?
59.
No, okay. Well, we're probably good then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been our recap of Acolyte parts episodes 1 and 2. So, I think we covered just about everything that we could.
Do you want to, are we going to wait a couple episodes? You want to do it in groups of 2?
In groups of 2 probably sounds good.
We can do groups of 2.
Yeah, we'll do groups of 2.
Wait for a couple weeks? And then...
Yeah. And then we'll do 3 and 4. I'm sure we can come up with something for next week's.
Yeah, we'll find something to talk about next week.
We'll find something to cover next week. Well, we'll have Squeal on the Eel stuff. Next Sundays.
Fun.
Yeah, next Sundays.
Saturday's Squeal.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, this has been the Acolyte episode of Pints and Pages. I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
And we'll see you next